Day 13. Israel was ruled by many judges, and Samuel was one of them, which meant they did not have a king because God was their king. However, the Israelites lost trust in Samuel's sons in becoming the next judges, and so they desired a king, just like the other nations who had kings, and they wanted a powerful figure who could unite them. Thus they rejected the kingship of God. Yet God allowed them to have a king and instructed Samuel to anoint Saul as the first king of Israel. From the first book of Samuel, we learn that Saul was a very handsome guy and a great warrior, but that did not mean he was a good guy. I mentioned about Saul because he was God's anointed, and also there were two sins that led to his downfall. The first one was before a battle, a priestly sacrifice was to be made, and Samuel, who was also a priest, took a long time to come. Saul, becoming impatient, made the sacrifice, which was illegal because he was not a priest. Seeing this, Samuel told Saul that his dynasty was going to fall apart. The other sin that Saul committed was during the battle against the Amalekites, the enemies of the Israelites. God ordered a ban on these people, which meant annihilation, including their king and their livestock. Saul disobeyed that command and kept Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive and used their best livestock as a sacrifice. Again, Samuel, seeing this, told Saul that he lost the favor of God, and thus David was anointed as the king of Israel. Then later at a battle, Saul took his own life after his sons died in that same battle, and he was afraid of being captured by the Philistines. The lesson we could learn from the life of Saul is obedience is better than sacrifice. And in the desert, while Jesus was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, Satan tried to tempt Jesus, saying, "If you are the Son of God, command these stones to be turned into bread." Jesus then replies, saying, "One does not live by bread alone, but from every word that comes from the mouth of God." Jesus in his life, although he was the Son of God, was obedient to the Father and would consult him and pray before making major decisions. We also could learn from Jesus that obedience is better than sacrifice. And I'm not trying to advocate that sacrifice is useless. We need sacrifice, but it can never replace obedience. And say, for example, if you decide to donate a lot of money to the church, it doesn't necessarily replace the sins you have committed. To let go of the sins you have committed, you must be willing to repent and feel sorry, and once again unite yourself with God. And to do that, we must obey God and let go of anything that gets in the way of our relationship with Him. And Lent is that time of purification, of letting go of those things. So let's keep this in mind as we continue in our journey of Lent. May God bless all of you.